Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Hashtag Sports and welcome to this wild card edition of Razor Sharp Picks. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me. My name is Joe. If you're new to Hashtag Sports, what you been doing? Where you been? Hope you enjoy yourself. Hope when you come on board, you have a good time. That's what it's all about here. As you guys can see, I'm up by myself. I'm all alone. No one here to play with. Normally, I'm here with my buddy Ryan. Unfortunately, Ryan had other obligations today, so he is unable to make it. But he did send me his picks. So we will get into our picks, both straight up and against the spread. We'll get into our bets, both parlays and player props. Again, if you're just new joining us, every single week, Ryan and I have been placing bets. We've been seeing how good we could do with this whole gambling thing, right? Player props, parlays, all that good stuff. Good to see you, Daniel. Glad you are in the house. Let me know your playoff predictions, wild card weekend predictions in the comment section right here. Let me know who you got winning these games. Starts tomorrow night. But guys, if you've been trailing me, if you've been with me all season long, been with Ryan all season long, you know it's been a rough year for me. Rough year with these bets, right? Rough year. But good news. Good news. Last week in the black. And not only were we in the black, we did well. I think this is the best week from either Ryan or myself as you look at this all season long. Plus 25 units last week. Hit both my parlays. Would have hit my Jonathan Taylor bet if they would have let me bet it, which they didn't for some odd reason. Up 25 units. So I hope if you guys picked a week to tail me at all, it was last week. Because as you can see, still for this season, I am down 24 units. It's been a rough year. I was down almost 50 units. Now, slice that in half, and it gives me a chance, a long shot, but a chance. Have another week like last week, and all of a sudden, I'm in the black. Ryan took last week off with his parlays and bets, and he's still up 8.36 units. So congratulations to Ryan winning the regular season, but the regular season doesn't matter unless you win at the end of the season. This is going to go all throughout the Super Bowl, so we're going to see if I have a chance to catch up. We're going to show you our bets at the end of this live stream. But again, let me know your playoff wild card predictions in the comment section as we will give you ours. And it starts with the first game. And already, Ryan, I see things a little bit differently. As Saturday afternoon into the evening, the Los Angeles Chargers go to Houston, where the Chargers are 3-point favorites. Very rare that you see two home underdogs in the first round of the playoffs. Also, while I'm doing this, I am watching Texas, Ohio State, currently 14-7 Ohio State. Texas has the ball. Craziness already in the semifinals with the game yesterday. Hope you guys enjoyed that one. Looks like there may have been a potential turnover against Texas, or no, they're looking to see if his knee was down for a sack before he got the ball off. So we'll keep you updated a little bit on that. But this is all about the playoffs in the NFL, not the college football playoffs, but the NFL playoffs. And that's what we're looking at with this game Saturday. You have the Chargers 12-5 going to the Texans 10-7 on the season. Luckily for them, they play in the AFC South. They didn't have to do too much to win that division. And due to injuries and due to some other issues in Houston, it was a long, rough season, but they did win that division, and that's what matters. But they sit here as home underdogs. You see Ryan picking the Chargers to win this thing both straight up and to cover a 3-point spread. I'm sure if he was here, he'd give you his reasoning. I don't know what his reasoning is. Obviously, if I were to speculate, I think he likes the coaching matchup a little bit better in favor of the Chargers. Harbaugh doing a great job in his first season with the Chargers. quarterbacks, maybe even swing it a little bit towards Herbert. But for me, I know why I'm picking the Houston Texans. First of all, in wild card weekend, if you're giving me the home dog, you're giving me 3 points, I'm taking the home underdog, okay? I think that the Houston Texans team, they won their division. They hear the noise. They know they're the underdogs. They know nobody expects them to win anything come this weekend, come the playoffs. But the playoffs, all that matters, you're 0-0 now. Remember that, guys. You're 0-0. And if you look at this Chargers team, 14th against the rush this season, which doesn't sound too bad. No problem. All right. But they are playing Joe Mixon. That's who they're playing against. They're not playing against, listen, the Denver Broncos. We know about their struggles running the football, and hopefully the Buffalo Bills will be able to take advantage of that. The Chiefs have had trouble running the football all season. So that's 4 of their games, right? And the Raiders, who they're running with, right? So you look at some of the running backs that they've played who we know, like we know the names, and we know that they're good backs, solid backs. Derrick Henry, 140 yards. Bijan Robinson, 102 yards. Bucky Irving, 117 yards. Chase Brown, 86 yards. Najee Harris, 70 yards. But even the Bengals and Steelers combined ran for over 100 yards on this Chargers team. So I look at this game and I think about the Houston Texans, and I think, man, if you get Joe Mixon going, and both Ryan and I think that Joe Mixon is going to have a big day, okay? So I will get to that with our player props. We both have Joe Mixon in our player props. But if the Houston Texans are able to get that ball going, run the ball, run the rock, north to south, do the fundamentals, win the line of scrimmage, I could easily see the Texans winning this matchup. Again, the Texans know what everyone's saying about them in the media. Heck, Bills fans know what they were saying about us at the beginning of the season. Here we are. Give me the Texans in a win, in an upset at home in the first game of Super Wild Card weekend. I don't know if I like the whole super thing. Like, what's the point? What's the point? Super Wild Card weekend, regular Wild Card weekend, it's all the same. It's all the same. But then you go to the night matchup on Saturday night, the game that's on Prime. If you don't have Amazon Prime, sorry, you miss out, right? But you do have plenty of people who will stream the game for you. Plenty of ways to probably watch. Go to your local bar, have a good time. Let me know what you think about the game on Amazon Prime. I'm not a fan. I am able to watch the games on Amazon Prime. I'm not going to tell you I have my own Amazon Prime account, but I know how to get one. But still not a fan of all these streaming services, just like many of you are. But that's neither here nor there. Right now, we're talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers going to Baltimore, playing the Baltimore Ravens, a AFC North battle in the first round of the playoffs. 10-7, Pittsburgh Steelers went this season, while the Baltimore Ravens went 12-5. You see the Ravens 6-2 at home, Steelers 5-4 on the road. Ryan and I see this going the same way. Ryan and I both have the Steelers covering the spread of 9.5. That's a huge spread. And I just don't see a Mike Tomlin coach team getting cooked 2 games in a row against the same opponent. That's where it stands with me. And then we both have the Ravens winning this matchup, not covering the 9.5 points, but winning this matchup. And we both have this game going under 43.5 points. Listen, everyone talks about Lamar Jackson unable to win in the playoffs. Lamar Jackson has won in the playoffs. He is 2-4 in the playoffs in his career. Now, in those 2 wins, however, his team had a far more talent than the team they were playing. And I think that's the situation with this matchup here. Now, it's going to be interesting to see how well Lamar Jackson plays. In Lamar Jackson's 2 playoff victories, he is averaging 71.8% completion percentage. In his 4 losses, he's averaging 53.3% completion percentage. So obviously, you gotta watch how Lamar Jackson does to start this game off. If he gets behind, and down in distance, has to start forcing some throws, maybe force some turnovers. This Steeler team knows how to beat Baltimore in Baltimore. In fact, they split the season series. So obviously the Steelers team knows how to win in Baltimore. Pickens is back for the Steelers, and we saw the difference that he made both being in and out of the lineup for this Steelers team. That Steelers do come into this game on a 4-game losing streak. That's not at all. Looks like Texas just scored a touchdown, actually point away from tying that game up at 14 apiece. Another close semifinal game. The college football committee has to be excited about that, because through the quarters and before the quarters, the playoff games were terrible. So to see 2 close semifinal games has to have the college football committee very excited to see that. Obviously, the winner of this game playing Notre Dame on January 20th. But the Baltimore Ravens, far more talented, in my opinion, than this Steeler matchup. You say Harbaugh versus Tomlin. Obviously, it's a 50-50 coin flip, so who knows who's going to win that one. But give me the Baltimore Ravens, the more talented team, more talented quarterback, maybe a little bit better on defense too, than the front four, of course, with Watt for the Steelers. He could have a big game. He could have an impact in this one, but give me the Ravens to win it, and give Ryan the Ravens to win it, the Steelers to cover that 9.5-point spread. Then we go to Sunday. Our Buffalo Bills, the number 2 seed in the AFC, are at home going against the Denver Broncos, finishing the season 10-7, finishing up against the second and third Kansas City Chiefs string. Kansas City obviously not playing any other starters as they clinch the number 1 overall seed. And listen, the Denver Broncos team has done a lot of good things this season, but you talk about talent in the Steelers game. I talk a little about how Baltimore just outmatches the Pittsburgh Steelers. Just has more talent than the Pittsburgh Steelers. The quarterback differential here might not be significant for long. Bo Nix doing a fine job. He's grown as a rookie. I'm not saying anything bad about Bo Nix, but the Buffalo Bills have that guy. The Buffalo Bills have that guy. You know that guy. Give me Josh Allen. Ryan feels the same way. 8.5 points. Doesn't matter what the spread is. 10, 11, 12. The Buffalo Bills, we fear a slow start. I will say that for myself, especially. I don't necessarily want this getting into a which coach count smart, which coach competition, because Sean Payton has proven that he could pull out some tricks, right? Remember the onside kick in the Super Bowl, right? We know that he has playoff experience. He has a Super Bowl ring. So if it goes Sean Payton versus Sean McDermott, as Bills fans, we worry. But hopefully it doesn't come down to that. The Buffalo Bills, again, the better team on paper. We know that that's not how games are won. The Buffalo Bills 8-0 at home this season. Don't think this is where they want to lose their first game. The Broncos, a losing record on the road. Give us both the Buffalo Bills to cover. We both picked the under because neither one of us see Denver scoring a lot of points. We think that's what it boils down to. So give us the Buffalo Bills. And don't forget to join me this Sunday, 12:30, as the Buffalo Bills play host to the Denver Broncos. Going to be live for play-to-play and reaction to every single snap. Hang out with some fellow hashtag Nation members, some Bills Mafia members, as well as we hopefully watch the Buffalo Bills get ready for the divisional round matchup against presumably the Baltimore Ravens. So I have the AFC going chalk. This is just me. I have the 3, even though one's an upset, I have the AFC going the top 3 seeds, all 3 home seeds winning in the first round of the playoffs for the AFC. When it comes to the NFC, it's a jangled, mangled mess. It is a complete mess, and it starts with a fun game on Sunday, 4:30 p.m., as the Philadelphia Eagles play host to the Green Bay Packers. And guys, if you've been following along with Rachel Sharpe picks, you know that for the past few weeks, I felt like this Eagles team is the type of team that will lose in the first round of the playoffs. Yeah, they have Saquon, Jalen Hurts a little banged up, A.J. Brown a little banged up, Smith a little banged up. This offense is banged up at the wrong time. Now, they're all going to play. Absolutely, they're all going to play. But how will those slight injuries hamper what they can do on the field? That's a concern that I have. This Eagles defense, I believe, will keep the Packers offense in check. I don't know where the points are going to come from for Green Bay. but I do think Jordan Love can find a way to get it done. I think Jordan Love comes back from injury, and he's banged up too. Let's not forget about that last week. I think that game against the Bears goes a lot differently, obviously, if Jordan Love does not get injured. But I think once Jordan Love got a little dinged up, LaFleur called back the hounds a little bit. He's like, "Nah, we're not. We're going to take this game a little lightly." And then they did. Unfortunately, the Bears got the better of them, which forces them into this 2-7 matchup. But if you were with us in the preseason, I like the Packers to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. Not sure I have them going that far now, but it's worth a look. Give me the Packers to upset the Philadelphia Eagles at home. Ryan has the Eagles winning this matchup and covering a 4.5-point spread. Moving on to the next matchup, the late game on Sunday. 3 games on Sunday. You have the 2 games on Saturday, 3 on Sunday, then the 1 on Monday night. That game obviously moved due to all the terrible things happening in California. Thoughts and prayers go out to everyone who's affected. Homes lost. Just terrible what's going on there. Hopefully they can get it under control soon for all the people who are there. But going to the Sunday night game, you have the Commanders who are hot. You know, they have probably the offensive rookie of the year in Jayden Daniels going against Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Tampa. Both these teams very good in the regular season. Washington going 12-5. Tampa, finally the team that wanted to win the NFC South. It seemed like for so long this season, no team could, between Atlanta and Tampa, Atlanta, nobody wanted to win this division. Finally, Tampa gets the job done, wins the division, gets to host at least one playoff game this year in the playoffs. And this is the team they host, the Washington Commanders, who, again, Jayden Daniels had a great year this season. Don't want to take anything away from them. I just feel like Tampa's hitting their stride at the right time. Everyone was elated for Evans after he got the 1,000 yards for the 10th, 11th straight season, whatever it is. It is ridiculous. You think about the stars on this Tampa Bay Buccaneers team. You think about Irving in the backfield running the football. You think about Evans being able to catch football. You think about this defense doing a pretty good job throughout the season, keeping teams under wrap. I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will be a force to be reckoned with, not just in the first round, but potentially a divisional round upset, depending how the first round goes. Don't know if I have them beating Detroit, if that's who they end up playing. But in my scenario, Green Bay goes to Detroit if Green Bay were to beat the Philadelphia Eagles, which leads to a great divisional matchup in the divisional round. But give me the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and they will play the winner. If all else is correct, if Green Bay beats Philly and Tampa beats Washington, then Tampa will play the winner of the Minnesota Vikings LA Rams game. Again, this game moved due to the fires in and around the Los Angeles area. Again, thoughts go out to everyone who is affected by those fires. I know that at least 2 people have lost their lives, maybe more, to these horrific things going on in California. Just all of our thoughts go out to you guys there. This game will be a way for the Rams to kind of get behind their city. This is kind of like a rallying cry for me for the LA Rams. No disrespect to what the Minnesota Vikings have done, but I think that loss to the Lions last week really was an eye-opener for teams around the league. And not only that, was a real downer for the Minnesota Vikings. And I think they're going to feel that effect going into this game. The downfall about being part of such a big game last week is it's going to be a letdown the following week. You can't help it. You had a chance to be the number 1 seed, have the bye, have home field throughout. Now you're on the road the first week of the playoffs. Sure, listen, I'd rather be playing down south than playing in Minnesota on January 12th, or January 13th when this game's going to be played. But I don't know if they wanted to travel to LA, Arizona, wherever the game's being played now, the first week of playoffs, again, after having the opportunity to host have a bye week this week, and then to host every single game that they played in from now till Super Bowl Sunday. So give me the Rams to win this one. It's going to be a fun one. I think there's going to be a lot of points in this game. I like Justin Jefferson to have a big game here. I like Matthew Stafford to kind of go off in this game as well. And you'll see that with me and Ryan giving you our parlays and prop bets. Parlays of the week. My first parlay, again, includes Brandon McManus of the Green Bay Packers. I think he gets a few field goals in this game. I think that the Green Bay Packers put up a lot of points against this Eagles, a really good Eagles defense. I understand that, but I think that Jordan Love finds a way. Brandon McManus over 6.5 points, giving him to kick at least one field goal, probably two, and have a few touchdowns, extra points on top of that. Bo Nix to throw at least one interception. We've talked all season long about the Buffalo Bills, their turnover differential this season, and how it's one of the best in the league, not just this year, but in history. So keep that going in the first round playoffs. And in that same game, a James Cook anytime touchdown. I think if the Bills get the lead early, as Texas gets the ball back late in the third quarter in a tie ball game, I think if the Bills get the lead early, which I expect them to do, they use James Cook quite a bit, and he finds his way into the end zone. Like I said, I expect Justin Jefferson to have a big game on Monday night, 6 or more receptions and the anytime touchdown. I like that. I feel like that's a safe bet. 6, he should get at least 6 receptions in that game on Monday night. You look at Ryan's bets here. Again, we talked a little about Bucky Irving earlier, and I will show you to him again in my player props coming up in a second. He has Bucky Irving over 70 rushing yards. He has Jordan Addison of the Vikings. Again, this is going to be a fun game, going for over 60 yards. And in the same game, Matthew Stafford over 225 passing yards. His Buffalo Bills parlay, he has done these every single week and normally does really well with these parlays. Josh Allen anytime touchdown. He thinks Josh Allen might rush one in during this game, or maybe have a receiving touchdown. Who knows? It's late here on the East Coast, 10:22. He has Khalil Shakir, 5+ receptions, so 5 or more receptions, and James Cook over 12.5 receiving yards out of the backfield. Those are his parlays this week. Again, the 2 units goes on our lock of the week. So his lock, the Bucky Irving, Jordan Addison, Matthew Stafford parlay. My lock, the McManus, Bo Nix, and James Cook parlay. Let me know what you think in the comment section. I am very sleepy, Miguel. Listen, it's sleepy time. I don't know why I'm still awake. It's sleepy time. My kids are asleep. Why can't I be asleep? That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm very sleepy. But we only have one slide left. Only one slide left. And that's our parlays of the week. I like Joe Mixon a lot. Again, I talked a little bit about that earlier. Joe Mixon, I think he will do well. I think 78 is actually low. I think he's going to do. Thanks, Miguel. I appreciate it. And you hang in there too. Let me know what you think in the comment section about your playoff predictions. I think Joe Mixon is going to do a lot better than this. If you put Joe Mixon down for 100+, I wouldn't even be upset about that. I think that he has that kind of potential in this game. I think it's going to stay a close game the whole way through. And so they're going to have plenty of opportunity to give the ball to Mixon. I was actually flirting with the idea of going over 17.5 carries as well for Joe Mixon in this game. I think you see a lot of Joe Mixon. Personally, I've said his name enough. So you should know. And you saw Ryan pick Bucky Irving in his parlay, right? 70+ rushing yards, Bucky Irving. I think he's going to do a little bit better than that. I am at 85+ rushing yards on the day. If you want to sprinkle in an anytime touchdown, feel free to do so. I don't know if that's going to happen. We saw that last week, wide receivers 8, the tight end 8 for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Not sure if we're going to see a lot of the same thing in this matchup. For Ryan, he likes J.K. Dobbins to have 70+ rushing yards for the Chargers against the Texans in that game, and a Derrick Henry anytime touchdowns. And Derrick Henry was eating all season long when it came to touchdowns in the red zone until it came to MVP conversations that obviously the Baltimore Ravens wanted to make sure Lamar got his touchdowns and kind of took him away from Derrick Henry a little bit towards the end. Mario addressed that last week in the post-game coverage, but he has Derrick Henry with an anytime touchdown. So those are our picks. Those are our bets. Let me know what you think in the comment section, whether you're watching live whether you're watching after the fact, before the game on Saturday, 4:30 p.m. Again, last week, if you tailed me last week, it worked out really well for you. But if you've been tailing me all season long, has not worked out for you at all. If you've been tailing Ryan all season long, it's pretty much worked out for you at plus 8.36 units. So we'll see who does better this week. Again, I'm hoping to crawl back into this thing. Might take a crazy parlay at some point in this postseason, but we'll see if we can get the job done. We will see how the Buffalo Bills do on Sunday. Again, don't forget to join me right here, 12:30, as we do live play-by-play and reaction to every single snap in the game between the Buffalo Bills and the Denver Broncos. I look forward to seeing you all then and hopefully celebrating a wild card weekend victory and moving on to the divisional round to be at home to play whoever that is. Just want the Bills to win. Good luck on your bets. I appreciate that. I hope they win too, and join us on Sunday, Miguel. Hopefully you can stop by. If it's only just say hi. Just say hi for a few minutes. Give me your score prediction. I would appreciate it. That's all I'm asking for. Love hanging out with you guys. As always, I'll talk to you all soon. Enjoy the rest of this Texas-Ohio State game. I will, as the fourth quarter just underway. I'll talk to you all soon. Until I do, go Bills.